Hi, Rachel. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday already. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Man, these weeks just fly by. And it's June 20th. Is today the first day of summer? Officially, is that tomorrow? I always get it
Oh,
mixed up.
I actually don't know.
I
I
always,
don't know.
it's all I know is my husband's birthday today. So,
Oh,
so,
happy
and
birthday,
my
Kenny.
granddaughter's birthday. Shout out to
Oh,
Marin. Happy birthday. She's 4. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
hmm.
So cute. So, how are you doing, Rachel? How's your week going?
It's going really well. We're trucking right along. It's been a really good week. This is the first week of my husband working from home now in his
Mhm.
new entrepreneurial business pursuit. So we're navigating all the changes of both of us
Yes.
working from our home offices. And not to make anything more complicated, we have roofers today. Yay for spending a lot of money on a brand new roof. Anyone? Am I right? Am I right? And so they're pounding away, and I'm trying to have
Oh,
phone conversations. So if you hear
no.
pounding, yeah,
Right.
they're gonna
Okay.
let come
All
through the
right.
roof.
Noted. 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 Okay. Well, Rachel, why don't you tell us where we've been and where we're going today?
Fantastic. Okay, welcome everybody to the What's for Dinner live program that Dr. Gilbert and I do every single Thursday here on. You're going to see this link in my Facebook. You'll see this in her Facebook. You'll see this on both of our YouTube channels. So there's a lot of ways to access this. And right now we're going through a series called Diet Mentality versus Lifestyle Mentality.
Oh,
And we're really trying to compare and contrast and work through and kind of sort of set aside the diet mentality and really embrace what is a lifestyle of health mentality. And so in this series, we started talking about the pillars of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine and their 6 pillars of health. And so far, we have talked about all 6, but there is a 7th that they're potentially adding to the list and going to adopt. And that's what we're going to talk about today, and that is nature. So to recap what we've already talked about, we've talked about connection, human and self-connection and love, nutrition, exercise, stress, sleep, avoidance of risky behaviors and addictive behavior, substances. And then this 7th one is all about nature. So today we're talking about our connection with nature and why is it
yeah.
important?
So good. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
good. It's good. I've been thinking a lot about this last week. Every morning when I'm outside on my 20, 30-minute walk, whatever it is I'm doing, yeah, or my grounding, whatever it is.
Mhm.
So in the morning, my routine has been by, somewhere between 6:15 and 6:30, I'm out the door with in my shorts and t-shirt, trying to, yeah, it's easier now since it's a little bit warmer, but it was pretty brisk, you know.
It was cool this morning. A little cool this morning.
Mhm. So,
Mhm.
sorry about that. But anyway, so I've been thinking about nature and what just being outside, not necessarily even exercising, but I was does for me, and how yeah, how grateful I am, how invigorating it is to notice the trees, the flowers, the birds
Mhm.
singing. Yeah. So, and what that does for my mental health and
Yeah.
my physical health.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. And I love that you pointed out it's not just exercising in nature. I think people think of the outside and they immediately think that they have to be doing something. They have to be exercising. They have to be, um, it has to be an active thing. And that's not necessarily true. We're talking about the health benefits of nature, of
Mm.
seeing nature, hearing nature,
Mhm.
being in nature, touching nature. All of
Mhm.
those are beneficial.
Mhm.
So
Right.
at the bottom of my YouTube channel here, you'll see in the show notes, I've linked this article that I read about the benefits of nature. And they even talk about hearing. So nature sounds. If you were to be listening to just some nature sounds on Spotify, or, in your office, if you just played kind of some of those soothing, a babbling brook or rain or birds chirping, all of those have a psychological impact as well, a
Mhm.
health benefit, even though you're not even out hearing it in real life.
Mhm.
Seeing images of nature brings a calming effect, kind of gives the mind a space to kind of, because when we look at an image, like think of a landscape image, our mind wanders. We wander through the image, right? We go up the hill and through the valley. We go down the river and we wonder what's in there. And then we go up to the mountain peak and we explore it with our mind, and it can give us a similar sense as being really out in nature. So I want to encourage people that if you don't have direct access all the time to nature, listening and seeing images of nature can be a huge difference, can make a huge
That's
difference.
so good. That's so important. You're talking about the birds. It was, I think, one of our patients who introduced me to this app called Marin. No, yeah, is it? No, Marlin. Marlin, sorry. Marlin, Marlin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's through Cornell University. And this app helps you. It will, you can press record and it will listen to the birds in your area, and it will identify the birds in your area. And it is so cool just to sit there outside, because you're right. You don't have to be exercising, but just being outside. There's so many things for you. You're breathing the fresh air. You're getting exposed to some good aspects of UV light. It's not all bad. Not all bad. We don't have to slather ourselves with chemicals all the time, but and just kind of tuning in and paying attention to the sounds. I'm not going to say noise, but the sounds around us. Yeah, I had 6 different birds in my little area. Yeah.
Oh, wow. How great. And then you're learning something, and and I want to identify something. You connected with nature in a new way. And when people report a feeling or a sense of connectedness with nature, whatever that means to them, but when people report feeling a sense of connectedness with nature, they actually have higher levels of self-concept, self-worth, and improved mood, less depression, less anxiety. It's really quite compelling, the research and the evidence. And this makes sense why they're thinking about adding nature to a pillar of health, that it would be on equal footing with nutrition, on equal footing with exercise and stress and sleep. That's pretty powerful if they're considering that equal.
Yeah. I've heard the term, and probably you have too, Rachel, nature bathing. You heard the term nature bathing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
and
forest bathing.
Forest bathing. There you go. Forest
Another
bathing.
way you say it.
Yeah. So, and I think in different countries, as part of their school day, they have the kids go outside and get some exposure to the forest trees in their area. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. In fact, I read an article about Norway and how it is ingrained. They put their young newborn babies in big puffy parkas outside in the snow, their kids are ice skating at 1 year old and 2 years old, and they're just bundled, but they spend a great deal of time outside. It is part of a national, this is our culture. This is what we do. We are outside, and it doesn't matter if it's cold. So it's really impressive. Yeah.
Right. And because in the same way that our food culture has changed, in the same way that our movement has changed over the last 150 years, we've gone from active to sedentary. We've gone from whole to ultra processed, highly palatable foods. We've gone from being outside as a people to being inside. And that has taken a toll on our health for the not very good.
Yeah. Yes. What a great comparison there. That and as you were describing, I'm thinking diet mentality, lifestyle mentality, right? I heard it described that we start off in 4 walls in a box in the morning, right? And we get ready in those 4 walls, and then we get into a little box that's a 4 walls basically, and we drive somewhere, and then we get out and we go into another box with 4 walls, and we spend 8 hours there. Then we get back into our little box on wheels, we drive back home, and we walk. We're outside for like very small portions of the day, and anytime that we are outside, it's usually rushing into the grocery store, rushing into the office, rushing back into our car. and the amount of time
Mm.
spent outside has just diminished. We used to spend so much more time as a people group, so much more time
Mhm.
outside.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so we're trying to make the old ways new,
Mhm.
out. Yeah.
Back in with the
Mhm.
old.
In with the old.
Back
There you go.
in with the old.
Back
Oh, I like that. No longer out with the old and with the new. It's back in with the old. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Our
good. Ooh,
ancestors knew some stuff.
yeah.
Mm.
And there's some ancient
Just think
wisdom
about
there.
that for a minute. Yes, yes, they knew some things. The progress isn't always what's best for us, right? This
Mm.
progressive
Yeah.
way, um, we got to look back and go, hold on, what is the ancient wisdom?
Mhm.
What are the old ways, and what have we missed along our
Mhm.
technological boom and all of this progress? We're moving faster, we're sleeping less, we're
Mhm.
eating poorer, we're moving less, we're never outside, and then we wonder, why is everybody so stressed out?
Mm.
Why does
Yeah,
everybody have anxiety? Where'd that
right.
come from? When I was a kid, there was no such thing as anxiety disorder. Or, what's happened with the mental health crisis? I mean, these are really important questions,
Right.
and we got to look at what's going on now and what
Yeah,
has changed.
right.
Hmm, yeah.
Good. That's so good. Yeah. So, yeah, I was uh just so grateful that I live in kind of outside of town space. Not to say you
Mhm,
can't get. I mean, I think our areas in Oregon have done such a great job of planting trees and things like that in
mhm.
cities, and we respect parks and we protect parks and
Yeah.
that green in that green space. And I
Yes.
think as Oregonians, we love to be outside camping, especially during the summer months. And I'm impressed with people that camp in, March, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what if we were a little bit more robust, and thought about being outside year round, not just in the
Mhm.
good seasons?
That's no
We're
problem.
Yeah, to be a little bit more weather tolerant.
Mhm.
We're designed for it. Our bodies are
Mhm.
adaptable. We don't
Mhm.
we don't melt in the sun, and, I mean, we gotta take precautions, but we're not so fragile. We're not so delicate. And in
Right.
fact, this hormesis we talked about last week, right?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
good stressors, right? When
Mhm.
we push our bodies, in a way that maybe we're a little cold in the morning. Yeah, some of
Mhm.
my morning runs are frigid. Uh, but I survive. I bundle up, I make it through, and I'm invigorated. And there's that,
Yeah.
I've challenged myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get a little warm. A little warm is okay. A little
Mhm.
uncomfortable can be okay.
Yeah.
So that's definitely my challenge. This past year has been to be less of a baby about it.
Mhm.
Less,
Yeah.
less fragile. I'm not a
Mhm.
snowflake. I can be
Mhm.
outside when it's 40
Yeah.
degrees. I can be
Right.
outside when it's 35 degrees.
Mhm.
And I can be
Yeah.
outside when it's, 80 or 90. We take
Mhm.
precautions considering your health, risks and things, but um, it's a challenge. And I
Yeah.
hope people will hear that and say, oh, what if I were to, you know, go outside
Mhm.
a little bit more when the weather isn't
Right.
perfect.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm,
and we build patios and we have covered areas and and
mhm.
could you go outside in the morning if it happens to be pouring down rain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. Right, right. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how to do this. Obviously
Mhm.
there's going for the hike, going for the walk in the park, going to
Mhm.
a park and just sitting and being around the sounds of
Mhm.
nature and just listening.
Mhm.
Um, there's um, there's camping, there's fishing, there's hiking, there's all the outdoor activities. But I love that it's also just I can open my back door and I can
Mhm.
just sit outside.
Mhm.
I can sit in the grass, I can sit in a chair. It can be in a covered patio or exposed.
Mhm.
I know one of your patients, he talks about going into his garage. He doesn't have a covered patio, but when it's pouring down rain, he'll go into his garage, open the
No.
door, and sit in a
Yeah.
chair. So
There
he's
you go.
protected, but he's fresh air. He's outside at least mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So what maybe it could be part of a morning routine, a morning rhythm.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah, maybe you take your coffee out on the porch or
Yes.
patio or balcony or whatever it is, your front stoop, you know,
Mhm.
whatever it
Take that
is.
extra moment. to just
Mhm.
bring, you're going to do that anyway. How could you make it happen most
Mhm.
times of the year outside?
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
little extra effort it might take, but could you
Yeah.
bring it outside? I love
Yeah.
that idea. It's
Mhm.
already filing into your normal routine, right? Like tiny
Mhm.
habits, kind of
Right.
habit stacking what you're already doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Hmm.
And then if you're already outside, how could you take it to the next, what would take it to the next level?
Mm. If
Mm.
you're already outside, meaning if you're already outside, like in your yard
Yeah,
or
yeah. If you're already outside 10 minutes in your day, could it be more
yeah.
time? Could it be a different space? Could it be with
Mm.
people? Could you connect it to one of the other pillars?
Right, right. Eating
Mhm.
meals outside.
Mhm.
I follow a woman on social media and she tries to work outside as much as
Mm.
possible. And I've set a little seating area outside when the sun's not too
Mhm.
bright and I can still see my computer screen.
Yeah.
I'm in a patio chair working
Uh-huh.
outside.
Yeah,
Getting your
yeah.
hands dirty. When you're gardening, can you take your gloves off depending on what you're
Mhm.
working with?
Ooh, there you are.
Because you want to
Mhm.
ground, we want to touch the
Mhm.
soil, we want to smell the flowers. Can you sit in your grass?
Mm.
Literally with at least your hands and your bare feet touching grass if
Yeah,
you're not too allergic.
yeah. I
Um,
wonder, yeah, this is interesting. I wonder if we were outside more over time, would our epigenetics have less allergy? Hmm,
mhm.
I'm just
Oh,
curious.
yeah, that sounds like it makes sense to me. That sounds
Mhm.
really logical. Yeah, because
Mhm.
um, we, we keep isolating ourselves from the very things we want to build immune systems to, that we want to
Mhm.
expose our bodies to.
Mhm.
Um, and I mean, I can think of my grandmother. You got to open up the window, let the fresh air in. Why was she saying that? Right? We want to
Mhm.
exchange the air in the house that's maybe toxic or some chemical smells or that is just stale. We want to refresh, right? We want to
Mhm.
exchange and constantly be bringing in a fresh amount of air.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah, good, good.
sometimes I just touch trees. If I'm in the forest, I'm on a hike or a
Mhm.
walk, I just kind of go out of my way to just touch a tree and kind of just for a moment experience the sense of touch. How rough does this bark feel?
Right.
What's
Yeah.
what's that moss feel like? Have you ever wondered, right? You're looking at moss and it looks like a certain way. Does it feel like that
Mhm.
too?
Mm.
Um, is that leaf crinkly or soft? Is the grass, wet or dry? I mean, that's a way to just kind of in the moment feel that connectedness with nature
Mhm.
and learn something new. The last time I was in the hike in the forest last weekend, all the bushes along the trail have, I don't know if you've seen this, I don't know if it's a bug juice, but there's like bubbles, like there looks like spit bubbles, where a plant like, bifurcates, like it's growing right in this
Yeah.
corner here would be this big bubble of basically looks like spit. So
Huh?
I don't know what that is. I was exploring it. I was kind of looking at it and I want to Google, like, is this a bug that puts off something? Is the flower putting
Mhm.
something off?
Mhm. Mhm.
But just stopping to ask that question puts you in
Yeah,
the moment and
yeah,
puts you in
yeah.
touch with your
That's
senses.
so good, that's so good. My husband had to make a quick trip to Bend the other day, or
Mm.
yesterday, I guess it was, and he didn't go 22 out, but he went another way, and then he took some time on his way home, maybe because, he didn't feel rushed or something, but to stop and go up some trails and, just do some exploring. And, he's making I don't know, what I'd love to share with my patients. He's making this little, we're calling it our little paradise across the street, but
Yeah.
planting different things. So he likes to observe what has been designed in nature and then kind of copy that and kind of put it across the street. So, um,
Love that.
yeah. So anyway, it's kind of cool because I was waiting. I was like, he should be home by now. He should be home by now. But yeah, but it was really cool that he stopped several places along the way, and just got out and did some forest bathing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Took the
Yeah,
time for himself to explore and get curious about what's here, what's there.
yeah. And it's interesting because he was a little frenzied, frenetic on his way, but when he
Mm.
came home, he was calm.
Ah.
Yeah,
So did he notice that or did you notice that?
I noticed it. Yeah, I noticed it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, the recommendation, if you can get 2 hours, it says people who had spent at least 2 recreational hours in nature during the previous week reported significantly greater health and well-being. And the
Mhm.
more diverse with flora and fauna, the better. So even in
Mhm.
pictures and in videos, if
Mhm.
you're looking at nature, listening to nature, or in nature, the more diverse, right? So your backyard is good, a park is better, in the forest is even better, right?
Mhm.
How much flora
Mhm.
and fauna can we be exposed to?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe jot down how much time do I think I spend in nature right now, every
Mhm.
day or every
Right.
week? And
Yeah.
if the goal is 2 hours per week of
Mhm.
recreational use of the nature, how
Mhm.
could I increase where I'm at right now? Could I,
Right.
how could I
Yeah.
one step higher?
Yeah. Yes.
How's that
Right.
make
The first question is, what am I doing now?
Mhm.
Right. So in order to find out, we got to measure it. We got to track it. Yeah. What
Yes.
does that
What
look?
yeah, you gotta measure it.
Yeah. Got to measure it. And then
Mhm.
how can I bump it up a little bit? 2 hours,
Yeah.
Rachel, to be honest, doesn't seem like a whole heck of a long time
Mm-mm.
for the
No.
benefit, for the benefit.
Right, right, and
Yeah.
I think that most people would find themselves wanting more, like,
Yeah.
"I wanna get out there more," because
Mhm.
and that would be another piece of this tracking. When you do go outside,
Mhm.
take a moment to track how you feel before you went out into nature,
Mhm.
whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Take a moment to track how you feel in it while you're
Mhm.
there, and
Mhm.
then 20, 30 minutes to an hour after, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Um, Start to track those, you know, learn, and notice what's changing about
Mhm.
you.
That's great. That's great. Well, Rachel, this has been a great series about talking about the pillars of lifestyle,
Yes.
um, and and developing those rhythms, those practices that we do on a very regular basis that kind of
Yeah.
make us who we are and make our health what we want it to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this has been really good. I'm looking forward to what's next in our series.
Right, because we're still in the diet
We
mentality
are.
versus
Yeah,
lifestyle mentality. So we've got more
that's right.
coming. We've kind
We
of
got more
yeah,
coming.
what's next? You'll have
What's
to tune in
next?
next week and find
Yes,
out.
that's right. Well,
Yeah.
Rachel, what's for dinner for you?
Yeah. Ooh, what's for dinner? Nothing. And here's why. My husband and I are fasting. We're gonna start
Oh,
fasting tonight. So we're
cool.
just doing a kind of an extended
Mm-hmm.
overnight fast. So we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
end dinner. My next meal will probably be around 2 or 3 o'clock, and then we're cutting it off for the rest of the day. So
Mm-hmm.
that will be some leftover veggie burgers
Uh-huh.
and some yummy tahini sauce that we have
Yeah.
for it.
I wonder
And
where that
then
came from.
right? Does that sound familiar
Yeah.
from our culinary class?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what I'm having. I'm having leftover minestrone soup, or
Ooh,
that Sardinia, yeah,
yes,
soup. Yeah. So that's what I'll have. So very good. Well,
yes,
yeah. So fasting is part of the rhythm of your
yeah,
lifestyle. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I very much greatly value fasting. For a longer overnight fast, or
Mhm.
sometimes a day or two, sometimes 5 days.
Mhm.
But all of that, for me, the rhythm is helping me manage perimenopausal symptoms. It's
Mhm.
helping me manage and stay within my healthy weight range.
Mhm.
It helps me keep my mind clear
Mhm.
about my food and what I'm eating and why I'm eating. It diminishes the food chatter and kind of
Mhm.
clears up,
Mhm.
and it also feels like a good reset.
Yeah.
I notice belly bloat go down. It just kind of feels like, okay, here we go
Yeah.
again.
That's
So
right. Cool.
yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
All right.
Well, enjoy. Thanks. Thanks for joining us,
Thank
everyone.
you.
We'll see you next time. Get
Sounds
out
good.
there
Thanks,
in
everybody.
nature.
Get outside, friends.
Yeah.
All right. Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody.